Hi, good evening. Welcome to the video lectures from Shivananda Sharma Memorial RV College. This is an ISR initiative. Shivananda Sharma Memorial RV College is one of the premier institutions run by the prestigious RV group of institutions. We have come up with a unique initiative to engage students during the time of this unforeseen medical emergency caused by the corona outbreak. As a socially responsible institution, we would like to connect academically with students to make good the losses caused. In this connection, I, Gokul C from the Department of BBA has posted a video on the subject income tax and the topic profits and gains from business and profession. And the subtopic is professional gains. Please watch the video till the end, like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also share this video with your peer groups. Thank you. In my previous video, I have told about who are the three different types of professionals. One is advocates, second is doctors, and the third is chartered accountants. So we will try to find out how do we analyze the professional income of each of these people. First and foremost, advocate. In today's class, we'll talk only about advocates. We'll try to do a couple of problems, and then in the next class, we'll talk about doctors and chartered accountants. So, as far as the pro forma of professional receipts or professional income of an advocate is concerned, this is how the pro forma looks. So, unlike your business income, professional income is very easy. The professional income is nothing but the difference between your professional receipts and your professional expenditure. So all you have to do is try to put some logic into what could be the professional receipts for a lawyer and what could be his professional expenses. If you could understand that, and if you could reduce the receipts from the expenses, then what you get is your professional gains. Okay, so what is his main source of income for a lawyer? The main source of income for a lawyer obviously is his practicing fees. So whatever he does in the court, the clients pays him the fees for his time and his talent, whatever he has acquired due to his experience. So first and foremost, professional receipt is practicing fees and legal fees, both of which are part of his uh, profession. Then special commission, any special commission that he receives as part of the legal requirements, that also becomes part of it. Presents from clients, if any client doesn't pay cash, instead he's giving some presents, that is also considered as a professional receipt. Why? Because it is because of the virtue of he being a lawyer, because he has done some professional service, the client is giving him some present, so that also becomes part of his professional receipts. Next is examiner's fees. If he is part of any examination committee and he's setting some question papers based on that, then that also becomes a professional receipt. Please remember, if he is working as a lecturer or a teacher somewhere, that doesn't become part of this because that becomes part of his salary. Then any other receipts. So that is your professional receipts. So total is called your total professional receipts. Okay, less professional expenses. What are the professional expenses? So I hope I've told you just about what are the professional receipts. Less professional expenses. What are his professional expenses? Obviously, a lawyer need to have an office. So what are the expenses that he incurs in the office expenses? That is his professional expense. Second is he will also have some staff working in the office. So any expenses related to staff also becomes part of his expenditures. Then he would require some books to update himself professionally. So the cost of those books also becomes part of his professional expenses. Then he will have some office equipment. So we'll have to find out there'll be some depreciation on that. So they would have given the depreciation. Don't worry too much about how much will be the depreciation on each problem. They'll give you how much is the depreciation. So just go by that. And then subscription, if he's subscribing for some magazines with relate which is magazines and journals which are part of his profession. For example, something related to legal, something related to law, only those he'll be giving exemptions. He will not be given any exemptions for any normal general magazines or general newspapers. No, if it is very specific journal relating to legal, anything related to law, then he'll be given exemptions to those subscriptions. Then purchase of stamp paper and court fee, that is also his professional expenditure. For that also he'll be given a profession, that for that also will be given an exemption that will be reduced from his professional income. Then your traveling expenses, as a part of his routine, if he needs to travel somewhere, that also becomes part of his traveling expenses. So that is total professional expenses. So that is your total professional expenses. So the difference between your total professional receipts and your total professional expenses is called income from profession, or you call it professional gain. Okay, I hope I've made this clear. Go through the format once again. This format will help you to solve the problems. Now let us try to understand this problem. What does this problem say? This problem says Mr. Nirmal is an advocate and his receipts and payment account is as follows. Receipts and payments account. So you should understand how a receipt and payments account looks. On the left hand side, you'll have the receipts. On the right hand side, you'll have the payments. Excuse me. So his balance brought down is 1,892 rupees. His sitting fees is 40,000. Salary as a part-time lecturer 3,600. Exam remuneration from university 2,300. Interest on fixed deposit 1,200. Sale proceeds 18,000. Sale proceeds of shares 16,000. To dividend received 1,540. And here you have. So in this, can you identify which are his professional receipts? You can ignore balance brought down. Sitting fees is definitely part of his expenditure, 40,000. Then salary as a part-time lecturer, I told you that that doesn't become part of his professional receipts because uh, that comes under income from salary. And then exam remuneration from university, so that also there could be an employee-employer relationship. They are not specifically mentioned. Now such cases you go by the logic, because there is nothing like a hard and fast rule here. If you feel that he has, by the virtue of being a lawyer, he is being given this remuneration, then you can consider that. If not, see, in this case I'm not considering that, because I feel that this could be some other remuneration. So you don't have to exactly go by what is given in the book. You could go by your logic. Only thing is, please mention a note there saying that it has been considered as a professional receipt. Okay. Interest on fixed deposit, definitely not part of your professional receipts. Sale proceeds of car, definitely not. That is a capital gain. Then sale proceeds of shares also doesn't become part of your professional receipts. And then dividend received is comes under other sources, so you don't have to bother about it. So the only thing that I have taken here is the sitting fees. Okay, and then let us go back to what are these professional expenses. Books purchased, annual publication 800 rupees. So please remember, there is a uh, if you books purchased, annual publications. So there is, look at the last adjustments. Books purchased for teaching 200 and remaining for profession. So I told you that whatever he is earning out of teaching doesn't form part of his professional expense. So out of 800, please reduce at 200 rupees for the books that he has purchased for teaching, and the rest 600 you can consider. Okay. Then repairs to go down 1,200. Please read the adjustment here. One third of go down is used for professional and two-third for self-occupation. So always remember that whatever professional expenses that you are taking should only be to the extent of the profession, only be to the extent of his professional expense. For example, it says that the go down is used one third for his profession and two-third for self-occupation. We are not worried about how much he's using for self-occupation. We are only worried about how much is he using for his profession. So that means it's one third. How much has he incurred as repairs? 1,200 rupees. 1,200 into 1 by 3 will be his professional expense. Then municipal tax on go down 600 rupees. Same way, since the go down is used one third for his professional uh, for his profession, only one third of the municipal tax will be considered as his professional expense. So 600 into 1 by 3. Maintenance charges on car 2,000. So here, look at the adjustment here. Car is used 50% for professional use. So 2,000 in. So that means How much is he using for profession? 2000 in 50%, or 2000 into 50 by 100. Telephone expenses under own your telephone scheme. No adjustment is given here, so we assume that it is for his professional use. So you can reduce it from his professional expense. Domestic expenses, 20,000 rupees, definitely not part of his professional expense. You cannot consider that. Plant purchased for office. Plant purchase for office is 700 rupees, so that you can consider it. Let us see what has been done here. 700. So 15% is what they say is the depreciation on plant. So you can take that 700 rupees. Then car purchase 25,000. So 15% is a depreciation on car. So 25,000 into 15 by 100 into 50%. Why? Because only half of 50% of the car is used for professional use. Life insurance premium not part of this. Donation to a recognized institution, it's not a professional expense. Gift to father, no. Income tax not considered. IT assessment expenses. So you are assessing your IT returns. So yes, that becomes part of your professional receipts, professional expenses. Then installment of housing loan, principal amount 10,000. So 7,000 rupees. So in this case, he resides. So there's a third adjustment here. He resides in his own house, and one-fourth of the house is used for office purposes. That means to say, installment of housing loan is 17,000, principal amount is 10,000. So the difference between that 7,000 is the interest portion. So 7,000 is for the entire house, but how much is he using for his own for his office purpose? Only one-fourth. So 7,000 into 1 by 4. Then balance carried down we have already taken. So let us go back to the this one. So sitting fees received 40,000 we have taken. Books purchased for profession 800 minus uh, I've just put a zero there, that's a mistake. 800 minus 200, 600 rupees is taken. Repairs to go down 1200 into 1 by 3. Municipal tax on go down 600 into 1 by 3. Car expenses 2000, 50% of that, which is 1000. Telephone installation charges 4000 is fine. Depreciation is 15%. Some normally they give it, but here you have to assume that it's 15%. Depreciation on car at 15%, again 25,000 into 15% into 50 by 100. IT assessment expenditure you can consider. Then interest on housing loan is the interest portion is 7,000. Why? Because they have given principal amount as 10,000. So 17,000 is what they have paid. So 17,000 minus 10,000, that is 7,000 into 1 by 4. Okay, total professional receipts is 10,130. So the total is income from profession is 29,870. I hope I've been clear on this. Please go through the solution once again. Okay. Same way, Mr. Birol Saha is an advocate and his receipts and payments is as follows. Balance brought down 10,000. Arbitration fees 2,40,000. Legal counseling fee 30,000. Loan from bank 25,000. Rent from property 45,000. Interest on bank fixed deposit 21,000. Dividend from Tata Limited 8,000. To share of income from HUF 1 lakh. Now you have to consider all that. That is your professional receipts. That those are your receipts. Try to find out which one relates to uh, profession. Balance brought down, ignore that. Arbitration fees, definitely part of professional receipts. Arbitration is nothing but your legal fees, 2,40,000. Legal counseling fees, definitely part of profession. Professional receipts can be added. Then loan from bank. Loan from bank, if you can see here, the last adjustment and loan from bank is for personal use. That means do not consider that. That is not your, you cannot take it as a professional receipt. Then rent from property 45,000. So any property rent becomes part of your income from house property, that doesn't become part of your professional receipts. Then interest on bank fixed deposit 21,000, that is also not part of your profession. Dividend from Tata Limited, not part of your professional income. Then share of income from HUF is also not part of it. So let us just quickly go through arbitration fees, legal fees, gift from clients, and those three are the professional receipts. Professional expenditures, staff salaries 56,000, definitely part of it's a professional expense. Professional books purchased 18,000, very clearly given. So you can consider that as a professional expense. Subscription to journals, no adjustment. So we subscription to journals, definitely that is we assume it to be journals relating to his profession. Refreshment charges, definitely that is again part of his business uh, expenses, because that could be on his customers that he has spent. Then rent of office 15,000. He has his office and he is paying rent for that. That is also part of his professional expense. Then telephone expenditure 18,000. Is there an adjustment? Yes. 25% of telephone expenditures pertain to personal use. That means to say uh, only 75% is for office use. So that means 18,000 into 75%. Only that much has to be considered as his professional expense. Printing charges 3,000. Printing charges is pure professional expenditure. Electricity charges 6,000, but there is a catch here. Half of the electricity charges are for the house property. That means out of 6,000, only 50% has to be considered. So 6,000 into 50 by 100. Purchase of car 2,50,000. They have given the depreciation rate here. So 2,50,000 into 15 by 100 and into 1 by 2. Why? Because half, if you see the first adjustment, half of the car expenses pertain to personal use. That means to say 2,50,000 into 1 by 2 into 50 by into 15 by 100. Then computer purchase 50,000. So again 50,000. What is the depreciation rate? 40%. So 50,000 into 40%. You can give the professional expense. Then car expenses 7,000. So expenses of car is used half for personal use. So 7,000 into 1 by 2. Contribution to PPF. Contribution to PPF also doesn't form part of your professional expense. Then NSC purchase, definitely not. Bar association fees is definitely part of it. Bar association is a legal association, the lawyers association, for which he has to pay a fees. That is also part of his professional expense. Balance carried down can be ignored. Okay, and there's one catch here. It says the last one, gift from clients, last but one, gift from clients 10,000 not included in the above account. So I think that also we should have to include it. So arbitration fees 2,40,000 is taken care. Legal counseling fees 30,000 taken care. Gift from clients, as an adjustment it was given. So add that gift from clients. So you get 2,80,000. That is your total professional receipts, less professional expenses, that is staff salaries 56,000, depreciation on professional books 18,000 into 40 by 100, that is 7,200. You can take. Subscription to journals 2,000 has been permitted. Refreshment charges, yes, it's a professional expense. Rent to office 15,000 taken. Telephone charges, as I said, only one fourth is for personal, so three fourth is he has taken, so 13,500. Printing charges, professional expense allowed 3,000. Electricity charges 50% allowed 3,000. Depreciation on car is used only half for personal use, so that means other half is for professional use, and the depreciation is 15%. 2,50,000 into 15 by 100 into 1 by 2. Depreciation on computer has a depreciation of 40%, so 50,000 into 40 by 100, 20,000. Car expenses 7,000 into 1 by 2, 3,500. Bar association fees 2,000, it is allowed. So the total is 1,47,950. Your income from profession is 1,32,050. Please go through this once again. So I hope the this is a these are only two varieties of problems that they could ask you. These are the maximum adjustments that you could get in the exam. So I hope I've been able to uh, clear whatever the uh, questions that you had with regard to the format. If anything is there, you could get back to me on this. Thank you so much.